604, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you, JP producing. We have, it's content overload today, y'all. We got a busy Friday show. Oh, I can't wait. We got Senator Bill Cassidy going to be on the hotline in the 7 o'clock hour. We check in down in Lake Charles with Jim Rock in the 7 o'clock hour, previewing judges' races. The Halt Fentanyl Act. There was a big presentation yesterday. That actually, we're going to recap that in two separate segments, one with the senator and one with Lily Harvey. Rouge Creole's in for Foodie Friday. Pennington Biomedical Research Center's in. We are locked and loaded. Let's roll. Top stories and trending. Let's get it.
Number 5.
Mathern's is getting a new upstairs neighbor. The Mathern's downtown is getting a new upstairs neighbor. Nexus, Louisiana is leaving their Florida Boulevard headquarters. Been there for, 3 decades now. They are moving downtown. They're moving to 440 North 3rd Street. That is, of course, the building that Mathern's is in.
Number 4.
Newly obtained emails show allegations of mismanagement of funds concerning a 2023 housing project during Mayor Broom's administration. Messages between Broom's cabinet allege they federally funded housing project to rehab 3 homes along Central Road in Baton Rouge was significantly more expensive than it should have been, like 300% more. Our news partners at WBRZ say that a federal probe has been launched to determine if taxpayer dollars were misused.
Number 3.
A protest was held at the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison around 6 p.m. Thursday evening. The reason for the protest, conditions within the prison. Wasn't a whole lot more to go off of on this particular story.
Number 2.
1 person was killed, 2 were hurt when a car slammed into the side of the Fast Stop on North Foster at the end of a police chase Wednesday night. The chase started when BRPD attempted to pull over a vehicle for traffic violations, and someone threw a gun out of the window, then took off.
Number 1.
The possibility of a special redistricting session grew a little bit this week. House Speaker Philip DeVilliers has asked legislators to keep their calendars open between October 23rd and November 13th, just after the Supreme Court hears arguments in Louisiana versus Calais. That is, of course, the case that gave us Cleo Fields' district in the last redistricting session. What's trending, JP?
Well, Eric Menendez is not getting parole. He has been denied. His brother Lyle is taking his turn in front of the board today, though.
Okay. All this time, all we heard about was 18 years worth of sexual abuse.
Yeah.
We heard about like all the negatives about the parents, about the father specifically.
Yep.
What we haven't been hearing about this time, apparently Eric hasn't been a very good boy in prison.
Oh.
Like breaking a lot of rules, like smuggling in cell phones and the like.
Oh.
So, yeah, I didn't know about that end of it. I learned about that in the 4 o'clock hour of the Fox News Rundown.
Oh, man. Yeah, that may change a few things.
Right?
Man. You're getting phones. Oh, man, staying connected. Yeah, that's insane. So what? Now 54, he should not be released because his continued misbehavior in prison showed he was still a threat to the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, wow. All right. Maybe his brother Lyle maybe have a better chance. I guess we'll see.
Boy, that would be some stuff, man.
Yeah.
If your brother got out and you didn't.
Oh, it's messed up.
Oh.
Hey, Lyle's not trying to upload videos of on TikTok while he's in prison either. So.
Oh, has Eric been doing that?
No, I'm just kidding. No. Hey, Cracker Barrel made a change to their logo, and everyone is losing their minds on social media about it.
It's funny you mentioned loading videos on TikTok. Have you seen Mark from Cracker Barrel?
No, I thought they took him out of the picture.
No.
Oh.
No. They took the old grizzled dude out of the picture. Yes.
I thought it was Mark.
Mark is this guy. I think he works at a Cracker Barrel, and he's been making these TikTok videos, and he sounds like halfway like a Baptist preacher. And oh man, I tell you what, let me see if I can.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to find this.
No, I'm gonna send you one real quick.
Yeah,
I don't even know if this is the good one. Hang on,
it's all good.
Oh
yeah, this is.
See what I got.
Dinner and lunch, to go catering.
Yeah. Okay. Let me send you this real quick.
Okay.
We're gonna see if we can have some fun with this.
Hey, despite the backlash, they actually hosted a pop-up event on yesterday in Manhattan that included line dancing and live country music.
Cracker Barrel did?
Yeah.
I can't see exerting. Look,
there.
this is no hate against Cracker Barrel, okay? But I cannot see exerting any energy either way. Like, it's Cracker Barrel. It is what it is, man.
I love some of these comments, though.
Waffle House's sober cousin.
Hey, there we go. Oh, man.
I just emailed you, Mark. See if we can get him.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Sounds good.
Anything else trending?
Yeah, the Southeastern Conference announced on Thursday that will implement a 9-game football schedule effective in 2026.
So we'd have 3 permanent opponents within conference schedule that way. I'm kind of digging this. Yeah. I don't like where the NCAA is headed because it's headed in a direction that's going to make it NFL junior as far as football's concerned. I know so many people are on board with it saying, well, at least we won't have to play like scrub games anymore or we'd reduce the number of scrub games that nobody wants to go to and the stadium's only half full. And I get all the arguments in favor of moving in this direction. There's a part of me that says it's not long-term sustainable because you're going to put yourself in a position where you are second fiddle to a better league. And when you whittle away all the smaller competition, which you're eventually going to do is whittle away at their fan bases and overall interest in the sport, will eventually decline. Yeah. I don't know. I could be very wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But I think, and there's another part of this as well, that we're going to push ourselves into a financial league that we can't play in. But that's neither here nor there. Did you get it in the email? Is it?
I did. You want me to? Oh, you
want?
Oh,
I want to play it. Yeah.
Oh, you want to play?
Yeah, I want to play it.
I was like, I didn't know if you wanted me to.
No.
Maybe screen it first.
No. I wonder if Cracker Barrel got rid of the grizzled old guy in a pivot to move towards Mark.
Oh man, let's get him.
What? I don't have time for anything but Cracker. I don't have time for that. You don't have time for what? I don't have time for anything but Cracker Barrel. So remember, make time for Cracker Barrel. Visit there for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. To go catering. There's one close by you. You say, what, Mr. Mark? How close is it? Google it. You can find one. Delicious food every time of the day. Breakfast, dinner, and lunch. And don't forget, they're waiting for you. They're going to treat you so many great ways. You're going to love one of them. So remember, join the Cracker Barrel Rewards team. Love Cracker Barrel, live Cracker Barrel, and remember, find a Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
This guy puts out like 2 new videos every single day. I mean, he did like 60 seconds on his love of corn.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
It's riotous. It is awesome.
Oh, love it.
All right, 6:12, about to be 6:13 at Talk 107.3 FM. Want to stay on time. We got a lot of ground to cover in sports, so let's go ahead and break it here. Come back. We're going to talk about that SEC scheduling in just a little bit. We'll preview the Saints as well. That's next. Cracker Barrel. Grab cut 18 as well, please.
All right. For Saints?
16 and 17 are on the Saints. 18 is Southern University.
Oh, 18 Southern. Okay.
We're actually going to lead with 18.
Me? Yes, you. Stand up for. How's everyone doing today? It is Thursday. I'm afraid there's no easy way to put this.
Come on, where's Mark? There we go. There's a good one.
Don't forget. forget to continue what you're doing. Continue being a great server. Continue to be a great person to every guest. Continue to be awesome. Continue to finish what you start. Continue everything you do. Continue everything that's around you. Don't stop. Live more and do more. And be that person everyone looks up to. Be the mentor. Be the hospitality hero. Be the ambassador of your location. You can do it. And remember, just continue.
He didn't even mention Cracker Barrel by name in that one.
Yeah,
It's like he's
cutting a wrestling promo
or a training video.
Yeah, training video / I don't know. It's awesome. This guy's committed.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Or he should be.
Yeah, one thing we could say about that.
616 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to roll over to sports. We do have college football this weekend. LSU doesn't kick off till next weekend. It's week 0. However, the Southern Jaguars will be playing on Saturday. They'll be playing tomorrow, taking on North Carolina Central. This is in Atlanta in the SWAC-MEAC Challenge. You'll find it on ESPN. Head coach Terrence Graves says they are looking to put on a show.
We're excited to be able to represent the university, the athletic program on national television. You know, Saturday night, everybody's going to be glued in because it's football season. Everybody wants to see football, especially in the Deep South. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Southern Coach Graves are looking to build off of their 8-5 season from last year. Now, moving back to that story we had in our trending stories, the Southeastern Conference announcing that starting in 2026, the league will have a 9-game conference schedule in football. The SEC has been playing 8 conference games since 1992. LSU's Executive Deputy Director of Athletics, Verge Osbury, says this 9th conference game will help generate revenue and interest for both the SEC and for the Tigers.
I think now in the new age that we're in with the rev sharing and things of that nature, these are ways where we could generate more income for our programs. And it gives us one more, big quality game, which all our fans like to see. Let's be honest.
Grabbing this audio from our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network, the SEC says each school will play 3 annual opponents focused on maintaining traditional rivalries. Osbury says LSU doesn't know the 3 schools that the Tigers will play every year.
We don't know the exact format yet, how that's going to look and who those opponents are going to be. But I think it fits well in what we've been trying to do as a conference.
I mean, you think about it, we don't have a natural geographical rival, right? Like Alabama has Auburn, Florida and Georgia being neighbors, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. I mean, Texas A&M and Texas. We don't have that here. But we do have some pretty intense rivalries. And when you look at who LSU traditionally played year after year, if I'm picking 3, my 3 would have to be, you got to go with Alabama because there's always too much riding on that game. I think I'd lean towards Florida just because, over the last 20, 25 years, that's been a classic. And then, one more. Do you go with Ole Miss, who you were significant rivals with back in the 60s and 70s? Do you go with Auburn, who every year the game has a name for it? Like the Barn Burner or the Bring Back the Magic game? Or do you flip around to the other side, hit up Texas A&M because, print the cups? Now, you take the 9 conference games and you got to add 1 game against a Power 4. That only leaves 2 more spots open for other games to take on, in-state schools or mid-majors. Osbury says the SEC's TV partners are going to appreciate whittling those games down.
Just the value of the conference, the value of what it is for ESPN and ABC.
We'll talk a little Saints football next. We got a lot. Oh, we got so much more ground to cover. Governor Jeff Landry was on with Moon earlier this week. We're going to dive into some of that audio as well. Right now, here's the Fox Business Report. Oh, Stuart Varney. Oh, maybe Kilmeade should go on your show live every day.
I am Stuart.
For a simulcast, Stuart Varney.
Stuart. My name is Stuart Varney.
Oh. Ooh.
Which cut you want first, BOTD or insurance wins? Or
We're going to finish out the Saints
one
first.
or two. Okay.
We've got about as clean of a look at traffic as we're going to get, y'all. Interstate systems are looking great to start off the morning. It is a slow start, specifically on I-12, where normally at this time we got a lot of buildup, or at least some volume over on 12 westbound coming in from Denham. Not the case this morning. We're pretty clean. We're moving right along. All of our interstate systems are surface streets. The only thing we have to report is a stalled vehicle in the roadway on Ardenwood right as you get to Florida. That's like it. That's all we've got from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. .623, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Let's pick up where we left off in sports there. We got jammed up before we could get to the Saints, who play this weekend, so diving right back in. The Saints picked up Devon Avele from Denver. They traded off a 4th-round pick in 2026 and a 7th-round pick in 2027. Wow. Avele fits the need. He's a big physical receiver. The Saints have been relatively short in the receiver room. And when I say relatively short, I mean like 5'11", 6 foot. They don't have that big 6'4", 6'5" guy, or at least not with Bub Means on the shelf. And, man, if it hurts you that Bub is on the shelf, then you know you're hurting to begin with. Vele, he matches that description. He's 6'5", 210. Coach Kellen Moore says the offense is going to benefit from this pickup.
Really good player, really good person, really had a productive year last year in Denver, and so felt like as we went through you're always looking for guys, looking for opportunities. Felt like it was a great opportunity for us to get a younger guy, second year in the league, that's still developing and growing, and it'll be great for our team.
Spencer Rattler will be under center when the Saints kick off at noon on Saturday. He will be the starter for the last preseason game. Head coach Kellen Moore says Rattler's ability to extend plays with his legs has stood out as the difference maker between he and Shuck.
Spence, has made some big plays in practice, some downfield throws, and I think his ability to use his feet, he's done a nice job. He usually has the right timing of when to use it, when to utilize it. Yesterday I think we had some good situational work for him. Both quarterbacks had some really good situational work at the end of the practice, and so, we feel great with where that group's going.
Like we said, kickoff is at noon on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Governor Jeff Landry was on with Mood Griffon earlier in the week. We're going to get to that in just a second. Do need to remind you about the folks over at Breck. Breck.org is their home base online. Whatever it is you're into, Breck has got you covered. Their biggest challenge is meeting the recreational demands of such a wide and diverse parish. Their biggest challenge is keeping up with all the different things that all of us are into, whether that be swimming, soccer, basketball, whether that be softball, tennis, pickleball. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Whether that be taking a pottery class or square dancing or knitting. I mean, they've got everything, like literally everything. Start off at breck.org. Get a look at some of the schedules they have for the classes that they've got going on, some of the community meetups that they have, and, of course, learn more about their facilities. When you talk about some of the great parks that we have, Highland Road is one of my favorites. I was out at Independence Park again yesterday. It's the true meaning of what community is. And Breck is on top of it. So start it off at breck.org. I'm keeping one eye on the clock, JP, because I want to make sure we do all this in the right order. Governor Jeff Landry was on with Moon earlier in the week, and they covered two different topics. I mean, it was really one, but two different topics. He was on to brag about the drop in insurance rates, right? Take a little victory lap, which when you have wins in the political game, if you don't take your victory lap, you are missing out. That's plain and simple. However, I'm not sure this particular victory lap was the right one to take. Governor Landry was talking about insurance rates, auto insurance rates dropping, and bragging on the work that he and the state legislature has done over the last 2 years in order to make it happen. I want to play two particular cuts for you. We're going to move those to the next segment. I want to play two particular cuts talking about where he's talking about this. But first, I want to kind of go in reverse order. One of the things that was on the back end of the conversation was a topic that I don't think we've been talking about very much around here. In fact, I know we haven't been talking about it very much around here. Very under the radar. The revamping of DOTD, the refocusing of DOTD and what they're going to be doing over at our Department of Transportation to help, bite into this backlog, this multi-billion-dollar backlog of road projects. Governor Landry mentioned a little something about what we can be on the lookout for.
We also knew that we needed to reorganize our Department of Transportation. We heard it from people out there. We did it. We studied it all last year, came up with a plan, and we created an Office of Louisiana Highway Construction to deal with the ability of us to put money on roads and get them that are shovel ready, things that have been sitting there that we know needed to be done, and get those projects done. And then we put some more money again this year. I can't remember exactly how much, but several hundred more millions of dollars. In fact, that was one of the reasons we tried to pass those amendments this year, was to try to get more money into our roads. But, again, change is hard in the state, and that's okay. But this new Office of Louisiana Highway Construction is going to be headed by Archie Chasson, and I met yesterday with him and Glenn Leday and Eric Dauphiné, and we started going through the priorities, and we are going to push that department as hard as we can to get projects let and to get our roads. I think we targeted 62 bridges that need to be repaired that we've got on the list. And that's another thing. I got people calling me all the time. They're not getting to the bridge fast. And believe you me, they hadn't gotten to the bridge in 20 years. If they just give me 20 weeks.
Yeah, he went on from there. I'm not 100% sure what this change is actually going to look like. I'm fired up about the fact that there is going to be just a kind of intensified focus. You tell me shovel-ready projects, and I get all fired up. Even then, though, you're talking years and years and years before you see anything actually happen. I mean, look, I know this is I don't want to cross the streams between what happens locally, what happens statewide, and whatnot, but we know how long Nicholson Drive took. Hell, we know we're living it right now with Jefferson Highway. I mean, if if any part of your day takes you up and down Jefferson Highway, not on. Good on you, man. You're it's been rough for a long time, and it continues to be so. And it looks like it's just like moving cement around, cutting it back up, and moving it back around again. So any positive news on the DOTD front, I'll take. We'll talk insurance rates next. Moon's in the house today. He asked if we wanted boudin. I said, I never say no to boudin, but we're going to have Rouge Creole in the house. So I just left it at that. I didn't say yes or no. I just left it at that.
Oh, okay.
And good morning, Christy. Well, Facebook loves to tell us when we're not collecting revenue. Remember last week when I was on location at the casino and we did the thing with we did the bit with Flex? Yeah, apparently that violated copyrights and whatnot. So we did. We totally did, and I wanted to.
I did see we got flagged,
But like they're reminding me every day.
oh really?
Of yeah, they're like such and such is collecting ad revenue off of your post. Like it's gonna piss me off.
Oh man. Well, what? I mean, in a couple days, within 30 days, it'll be deleted anyway. Right?
Within but like within 24 hours, the bulk of our viewership is gone. Like you get very, very little. It's sparse, so sparse after that.
Yeah, it's always a risk of like playing music over.
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday the governor was on with Moon?
Let me find out. I have it. Oh man, I thought I had that down. It might have been Tuesday. I was thinking of something else. That's Tim Temple. Shoot, I don't know. That might have been Tuesday. Yeah, I didn't cut that one for. They didn't send me. Usually they send me over. Like Andrew will send me over, interviews for me to post. But yeah, I didn't get anything for that.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. See Leanne in there. See Byron. See, whoa. Matt says sports is about the price of the mid-level people out. People will still throw ridiculous amounts of money at it to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, but the mid-level people, what we don't realize is that the mid-level people, those mid-conferences, once you lose those, you lose overall interest. And when you lose overall interest, you lose TV ratings. And when you lose TV ratings, you become the WNBA. Okay, that was extreme.
Mm.
.638, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Boy, I may have touched the nerve with the DOTD stuff. Probably should have known that was going to happen. Odell says over on Facebook Live, he's in the chat, which you can be as well. We're live on Facebook every day, courtesy of the folks at Lake Urgent Care. Odell says revamp DOTD, require contractors to have 24-hour shifts, break out the moonlights and work at night. Well, they do that already. Well, they do that on the interstates, to be sure. Once you get off the interstate, so it gets a little bit difficult because you start getting in neighborhoods or backed up to neighborhoods. But I love where you're headed with this. He says every other state does it. We do it sometimes on the interstate. Let's cut the time in half and stop allowing the companies to milk money out of the state. I'm so with you. It kind of depends on the project as to whether or not I would want them out there at night. For example, the Jefferson Highway, the debacle that they're in the middle of right now, which is Highway 73. That's the state highway. Can you work on it at night? Because all along Jefferson Highway, you have residential. I mean, you're talking like apartments on top of apartments, right? And then it's different subdivisions or offshoots. As you're like, say, in between Bluebonnet and Floynell, you're going to have like where, the corner of Bluebonnet where you got the CVS right there. And then Glamour Cuts is right up the way. Across the street, you got a slew of apartments right there. If you're working throughout the night, I mean, and you're just making noise and keeping folks awake all night long, that's not really fair to them, is it? I mean, but then the flip side of it is Are you happy with the way things are? Odell's clearly not. I'm clearly not. So, am I really pitching the answer of just be mad and not change it? No, not really. But I love that the conversation's going, and you can be in on that conversation as well over on Talk 107.3 FM's Facebook page. JP, you did it again. I saw it this time.
What did I do?
You sneaky, sneaky man.
What did I do?
Huh? What's over my left shoulder?
No.
Oh, you put it back.
No. So it's in transition. But, been there. Kind of. What? No one's even called it out. Can you believe that?
I'm calling it out.
Well, you called it out.
I just saw it, you sneaky, sneaky man. If you don't know what we're talking about, hop in the Facebook Live chat. My logo looks a lot like a different kind of logo, and JP's been a real slide.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Shame on the Facebook group for not even calling it out.
I understand.
So I don't even know if they even.
I understand.
Did they even? Is it that close to where they don't even know?
I don't know.
Now they're going to be really paying attention.
They should be.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of ground to cover here. But I all the feedback over on Facebook Live, absolutely loving it because this is a conversation we need to have. It's one thing to have hyper focus on a topic. It's another thing to push that in a direction, and maybe help advocate for some change. But getting back to Governor Landry on with Moon Griffon earlier in the week, I believe it was Tuesday he was on. It might have been Wednesday. Regardless, the governor was taking a victory lap on insurance rates coming down, auto insurance rates coming down. Governor Landry taking his victory lap. Here you go.
I continued to tell people that for 18 months that we were working on the insurance crisis. And I told y'all, and we talked about a number of bills, and we heard from many people who said, oh, if we do this, we're going to run insurance companies out, or this is not going to work, or this. And so far, 20 companies have filed for rate decreases. Okay? Hugo Insurance, this auto insurance, 13.6%. Go on to 9.92%. Allstate, 8%. Geico, 7%. GM National, 6.9%. Liberty Mutual, 5%. I can just go on and on. And I got to tell you, this is a day. Look, if you're in Louisiana right now, you should be one of the happiest people out there. I'm not telling you that we've solved all of those problems, but this is proof that what we have said all along, and while there are naysayers out there, while there are folks that love to divide us and gaslight us, the package of bills that we started on at the beginning of this year is living proof that it works.
But we're not there yet. Now, Moon did a good job of trying to redirect the conversation back where it needed to be. And that is, we know about all these rate decreases because Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple put out a press release back on August 14th. Headline of the press release, Temple highlights recent auto insurance decreases driven by a reduction in accident frequency. That same chart that had all the posts up of how much people went down, Allstate dropping by 8%, Geico dropping by roughly 7.5%. Who's the big winner here? He said Hugo at 13.5%. Never even heard of them. You had a 9% drop, 10% drop off by Go Auto. Like that whole list that Governor Landry mentioned, that's all in this press release as well. But what else is in this press release is the pull quote from our insurance commissioner that says, as cost drivers in the market go down, losses go down with them. And businesses are incentivized to compete for customers through lower pricing. While it will take time for this year's legal reforms to take effect and begin making a difference, it is a positive sign that insurers saw fewer accidents in 2024 and early 2025. So the insurance commissioner is making no bones about it. He's saying the work we've done, the work they've done, is going to bear fruit. It absolutely will show further reductions in rates. But this particular drop had a lot more to do with you and me playing nice on the road. Had a lot more to do with you and me not scrolling through TikToks while we're driving. Putting the cell phone down, paying attention to what we're doing, not getting in the fender benders out there. This one's more on us. The next one, that'll be the victory lap. The governor continued.
But we haven't seen this kind of decrease until we passed a law that said that the insurance department is going to look under the hood of these insurance companies and find out how much money they're actually making and blaming everybody else for why they piling those bills high.
I don't want to discredit that part of it. And I don't know that the governor did the best job of communicating what he was trying to say right there. But what he was going after was how much of this was a self-audit by insurance companies. Yes, and yeah, auto accidents were down. But what I think the governor was alluding to was there may have been a bit of a self-audit on the insurance company's part in order to make sure they were righting the ship. If for no other reason than once we're in the discussions, once things kick off in the legislature, once people start paying attention, what do they say? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. So for all parties involved, our eyes are open right now. And on that end, I completely agree with the governor. But I did want to reiterate, though, that the main reason for the insurance decreases is the reduction in accident frequency. We are bumping into each other a lot less. Speaking of your vehicle, is your vehicle European? Do you drive an Audi? Do you drive a Jaguar, a Land Rover, BMW, Mercedes? There's a whole list of them over at VexEuropean.com. Vex is here for you. Specifically Jaguar drivers, real quick. I drive an 18-year-old Mercedes, and that baby just rolls like it's brand spanking new. But if you drive a Jaguar and the dealership closed, which it did, you have a place to go now. It's VexEuropean.com. VexEuropean.com. Quick break. We got the folks from Lake Urgent Care coming up right after this. Okay. Lake Urgent Care is a repeat. They got 2 more repeats before they start doing live again. Nope. I have a specific one. August 22nd, the Urgent Care starts with you. Myrtha, Myrtha replay. All right. Today's 8:22. That's the one they want played is Urgent Care starts with you. Was there one where the guest name was Myrtha? Go back to May 2nd. No, I found it. May 2nd. Martha Irwin. Ha! Kevin says, don't even get me started on the endless Jefferson disaster. Bet. The work on Jefferson Highway makes the work on Nicholson Drive look like a Chick-fil-A drive-thru. What? Oh. You need to bump just right to me. As football season rapidly approaches, I do like to remind you about the Matherns on campus. You know, they got Matherns downtown on 3rd Street. Awesome. They got Matherns on Highland just west of Kenilworth. Equally awesome. Actually, that's a really impressive property. But on campus, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium, the closest grocery store to Tiger Stadium. As we get closer to game day, love telling you about it because they are there for you. They're there for you every day. But game day especially, they throw out the salad bar, fill it up with beer. If you're bouncing from tailgate to tailgate, want to stop in for a cold one, they got you covered. If you host your own tailgate and forgot something along the way, they've got you covered. If you really wanted to take it up a notch, you get your tailgate catered, they've got you covered. No, by the way, if you download the Matherns Rewards app, you can be earning cash towards more groceries every time you shop at Matherns. Leanne says, Leanne must live close to me. I'm still trying to figure out what they're doing on Sherwood. They put in sidewalks to increase foot traffic, installed crosswalk signs with the buttons for pedestrians to cross. They worked for a few days, and now they have trash bags over all of them. We installed something new and put trash bags over them. Sounds on brand for Baton Rouge. 100%. 100%. By the way, those sidewalks are gorgeous. And the thing is, they're staying gorgeous because nobody uses them. I'm gonna have to disappear during Lake Urgent Care because that has to air online as well. So just giving y'all a heads up. Well, Odell's in it now, man. Listen to this. You're hitting some nerves on a Friday. Auto insurance rates are self-induced. You make claims, they go up. You finance a $100,000 truck for 7 years, rate goes up. More expensive vehicle equals higher rate. The flip side of that, though, Odell, is if I'm not making claims, that's not insurance. That's just collection money. Like if I wanted to pay somebody to take my money and never give it back to me in return, I'd turn to the mafia for protection. Better food. But if you don't make a claim, your rate will go up. Well, if I don't make a claim, then I'm just handing you money. I only make a claim when I have to. All right, yeah, we got to hop back in. All right, it's time for us to check in with our friends over at Lake Urgent Care. Martha Irwin is the market vice president for Lake Urgent Care. They've got a new slogan out there, or the new campaign. It's called Urgent Care Starts With You. Martha, welcome to Talk 107.3. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you on here. Urgent care starts with you. What does that mean?
That means that our whole focus on patient care is the patient. That means that we design every service around what our patients need, their health, making it convenient, easy for them to schedule. That's why we offer the services that we do. We have walk-in visits. We offer virtual care. And that's to make it easier for the patient. Everybody has busy lives, so the more convenient it can be for everyone, the better. And as the market vice president, I also want to make sure that our team is trained to lead with efficiency and empathy, always putting the patient first, prioritizing what they need.
Efficiency and empathy are two really big things right there because, we know to turn to urgent care for colds, fevers, the minor sprain and whatnot. But there's so many different times where it's something that, and like speaking as a 48-year-old man, so many different times where we ignore what's going on with our own body when we probably shouldn't. So give us kind of a quick rundown of what some of the other services y'all offer are.
Okay, so outside of the normal urgent care things, we have appointments for walk-in physicals. And when I say appointments, that just means you can go online and say, I want to come in for a school physical at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So you can go register for that, and that's to decrease your wait time. So we have those walk-in physicals for camps and sports. We also offer medical weight loss programs. Our medical weight loss programs are a little bit different. They are supervised. We have occupational health, which is a big service line for us, where we support our local businesses and their team members, and the virtual visits and the online check-in, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, for added flexibility. We see patients from 3 months of age and up. We're open 7 days a week, and there's no appointments required. We're open on major holidays as well.
Those virtual visits were kind of what I was leaning in on there, because it takes advantage not only of, like, if you have a question about something, but you don't have to reroute your entire schedule to get it done. That's part of the efficiency you were talking about a little bit earlier. We got Martha Irwin, the market vice president for Lake Urgent Care, on with us for just a couple more minutes. Summertime's rolling around. You got camps coming up. Of course, you're going to have sports sports are all year round at this point. But talk to me a little bit about physicals and what folks need to do.
So if your child is playing sports, travel sports, whatever, it doesn't matter. Cheer, dance, it doesn't matter what the sport is, and they need a physical to participate, you just walk into any of our 14 locations. There's no need to schedule an appointment. You just come in, tell them what you're there for, and we'll take care of them.
We have got so many great economic development announcements going on, not just here in Baton Rouge, but all around the state. And with economic development means new jobs. With new jobs means more folks are in need of occupational health help. Talk to me a little bit about talk to me about how y'all support your local businesses.
Okay, so we partner with companies to take care of their team members, and that can be from before they're hired or through an injury, any from the beginning to the end. So we partner with the companies to care for their teams. We also provide on-the-job injury care. We do pre-employment and DOT physicals. We also do drug screens and alcohol testings in that pre-employment or injury phase, whichever one it is. We understand how important it is for businesses to have their team members there and to minimize their downtime. So we focus on that efficiency and that quick turnaround time for them. And, we want to support our local workforce here.
Let's pivot.
Offering the best service we can.
No, absolutely. Let's pivot over to, you had mentioned weight loss services along the way, and they're supervised. Obviously, okay, so Easter's in the rearview mirror. The next focus is on the summer. I'm sure weight loss is moving up to the top of the priority list for a lot of folks. How do y'all make it quick and easy?
So our medical weight loss program features the medications semaglutide and tirzepatide. So on our patient's weight loss journey, it's supervised by the clinical providers. Our initial visits include baseline labs, because we're about the whole care of the patient, not just the weight loss, the patient as in their entirety. And then we do quarterly lab checks through their weight loss journey. And to keep the patients on track with their weight loss, they come in for a visit once a month. We want to make sure we're treating the patient as a whole and not just focusing on weight loss. We want to monitor that weight loss progress.
I'm keeping one eye on the clock, and I want to make sure I get to this because we've only got about a minute and a half left. Y'all are UCA accredited.
We are.
What does that mean, and how does it separate you from other walk-in clinics?
Being UCA accredited, it means that we meet the highest standards for urgent care in the nation. And, with that, I'm going to, just continue to talk about the urgent care for a little bit. We've been in the community for 25 years, and we have a reputation of trustworthiness and convenient care, and that's what our goal is. We also we're on Epic as an electronic medical record, which a lot of the hospitals in the area are. And what that means, as your primary care or specialty providers, they can see that you came to the urgent care and what you came for and the treatment that you received. And that is good quality patient care. That's continuity of care. And that's really important. So, that's how we go the extra mile. And that's how that urgent care starts with you. It's all about the patient and the complete visit, the health care overall.
She is Martha Irwin, the market vice president for Lake Urgent Care. Can't tell you how much I appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're at 6:59 at Talk 107.3 FM. We're about to be 6:59 at Talk 107.3 FM. I'm jumping the gun just a little bit. I'll give you the rundown for the rest of the show. We're blowing out top stories in trending to start off the second hour. Senator Bill Cassidy going to hop on the hotline. Why? Because his Halt Fentanyl bill is now the law of the land. And he held a big ceremony yesterday, kind of a press conference about the signing of the bill, but more to the point, an opportunity for families of those who have lost a loved one in the fentanyl crisis, in the fentanyl battle. Senator Cassidy is going to join us at 7:05 right after we're out of news to talk about the Halt Fentanyl Act and everything that it entails. 7:15, we got Jim Rock coming on from the Lake Area Industry Alliance. Kind of a follow-up visit after Legislator from last week. And then 7:35, Vicky Jones is running for city court judge. We'll talk with her. 8 o'clock hour, we got Lily Harvey. That's back to Halt Fentanyl right there. Dr. Katie Spring from Pennington and Rouge Creole in the house for Foodie Friday. Right now, here's news. Matt says, other than a hurricane claiming a vehicle a couple years back, I haven't filed an insurance accident claim in probably 20 years. Rate has increased year after year. Well, for Jim, yeah. On the hotline. Yeah, please. By the way, we're going to do this day in history at 7:55. 7:05, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, JP producing. Starting off the second hour in roughly the same spot we were last hour. Yeah, 75 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. It is not often that we blow out top stories in trending, but when you have content overload like we do today, we absolutely do that. Making room for Senator Bill Cassidy, who is on the hotline right now. Senator Cassidy, good morning. How are you, sir?
I am great, Brian. Brian, how old are your kids now?
17, 13, and 9.
I met them in D.C. Like the 17-year-old was like 9 years old.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
it was.
Man, they're growing.
Very, very quickly. No, absolutely. And she's actually off in college already. So that turnaround happened fast. I know.
Well, can I ask what school?
A Southern Miss.
Well, wait. You send the girl to Mississippi? Like, what's going on here, brother?
I tell you what, it's you know how it is as a father, especially a father and daughter. When the princess gets what she wants. You know, she fell in love with the campus. They're doing some good things over there, and yeah. I lost that round.
I get that. I get that. I tell people I never had gray hair until I had teenage daughters, so I relate.
Hey, looking at me on Facebook Live right now, the Grays, I'm full on Paulie Walnuts with the Grays at this point. You had a big day yesterday, and it was a powerful day yesterday as well, talking about the passage of the Halt Fentanyl Act, and President Trump's signing of it as well. Walk us through the events of yesterday's, I don't want to call it a press conference, because it was more about the other folks on the stage and not about your news.
It really was. We just started off talking joyfully about your children. Yesterday, we had parents holding pictures of their children they had lost to fentanyl overdose, or a child holding a picture of her father. And fentanyl touches us all. And it's one of those things like we don't talk about just because, typically we want to talk about things which are happier. But it touches everybody. So in the room, we had a sheriff from Northeast Louisiana, a mom from North Central Louisiana, a parent from Lafayette, North Shore, Baton Rouge, sheriffs from Plaquemines Parish. It was just all over the state, all acknowledging. And then the mayor of Central got up, and Wade goes, I said, Wade, you got fentanyl in Central? He goes, we will have 2 people this week on average who will be called, will get a call on regarding fentanyl. So it permeates, it's deadly, it addicts, it destroys lives. Going back to the main purpose, President Trump signed a law that I wrote to help halt fentanyl. That's the name of the law, halt fentanyl, adding to the other things that President Trump has done. And I just got to tip my hat to him. No, I got to bow to him. He has done so much on this issue, and we're there to speak about that and to hopefully raise awareness that young people, anybody, should not be using fentanyl.
One of my favorite things about this, and we'll get into the details of what the Halt Fentanyl Act actually does in a minute. One of my favorite things about this, Senator Cassidy, is over the years, as we've seen the fentanyl crisis or epidemic grow, we've seen different levels of action move at different levels of speed. And obviously, Washington, D.C. Is going to be coming in third on this one. Boots on the ground locally, police can be on the lookout for it. The coroner can be letting us know about it. And then in 2022, statewide, we had a bill. Oh, man, I'm forgetting which senator pushed this bill in 2022 that got passed. And then Representative Stefanski in 2023. And now Halt Fentanyl Act coming from your office as well. We're seeing all levels of government rowing in the same direction to help battle this. It's an example of how government can actually do good for us.
It's also an example of how people can do good. So it's interesting talking to law enforcement. Law enforcement will all say that we cannot arrest our way out of this. I was speaking to Bobby Weber, sheriff of Ascension Parish. He goes, I got 500 people in my parish jail. Only 5 of them are going to go to Angola, and the rest are going to the streets. And so we got to come up with some solution for those folks who are going back to the streets so they don't just keep on bouncing in and out of jail. So that same, I met him at a tour of the Grove, which is a inpatient treatment center down in Ascension Parish, also has a branch in Baton Rouge. And they have 85% success rate. It's faith-based. They've reached the people as they're coming out of jail, as they're homeless, you name it, and then they put them in inpatient. They provide them services. They get them off drugs. So there are solutions. And so that's what we also have to emphasize, that the private sector, yes, with the help of the public sector, all have to team together in order to get rid of this, this scourge, if you will.
Absolutely. And one of the more nefarious parts of fentanyl is that not everybody who dies of fentanyl overdose even knows they're ingesting it. I mean, it's spread through it's so widespread because they could spike anything else in the world with it.
So there was a doctor yesterday from North Shore who testified like he would in church about his son, who was a gifted musician. And I know this doc, he once patched up my ear after I cut it. And so we've been friends. He used to send me videos of his son. He was a worship leader in a church, and somebody at his church gave him a pill. They're like, okay, you're anxious, take this, you'll sleep better. Laced with fentanyl, the kid died.
Yeah.
So, the message is, don't take a pill unless a doctor orders it. Don't take a pill unless the pharmacy dispenses it.
Right.
Don't just take a pill randomly. You're 18 years old. You're feeling kind of, invulnerable. You take a pill and you die.
And that's the horrific part. That's the nightmare scenario right there. I mean, you don't have any less empathy for those who are suffering from addiction, but for those who just weren't even in that game, it really brings it all to light.
But the thing, I agree with that, but we need to end on hope, because Tanja Miles is there. She is a woman in town. She and her husband, she's coming out of addiction. She's got a faith-based ministry working with the others, and her, man, she just preached hope. And there's a number, 988. If you think that you have a problem with addiction, call that number, 988. But Tanja was really about, you can overcome this. And the people at the Grove spoke about that window of willingness.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know of somebody who is addicted or tempted, call 988 or get them in that window of willingness. The Grove, Tanja Miles Ministry, there are people out there that will help them. I guess that's also the message.
Not to get too inside baseball or tell an inside joke, but the bravest man in that room yesterday was Wade Evans, because he took the microphone after Tanja Miles. You don't take the microphone after Tanja. All right.
Oh man, she could stir up a room, but he can too.
Oh no, absolutely he can.
Wade actually wasn't scheduled to speak, but he whispered in my ear that there are some ceremonies coming up that he needed to let people know about.
Which I'm going to have him on Monday about as well. So yeah, for sure.
And so I said, Wade, do you mind speaking something? And he goes, yes. And then afterwards I said, man, you didn't have notes. He goes, yeah, but it was the overflow of my heart. So when you're speaking of the overflow of the heart, you can speak with great eloquence.
Got 2 minutes left with Senator Bill Cassidy. Get us into the nuts and bolts. What does Halt Fentanyl do?
So the Halt Fentanyl does what the cartels do is that they will make a version of something which looks like fentanyl, addicts like fentanyl, kills like fentanyl, but it technically isn't fentanyl. They change the chemistry just enough so that they can, in court, say this is not fentanyl. Well, we say, wait a second. If it addicts like fentanyl, if it kills like fentanyl, you go to jail like fentanyl. And we give law enforcement and prosecutors, Hill and Moore was there, Sid Gotro, they were great, give them the tools to say, hey, we know what you're trying to do. We know the intent of your heart. Boom, you're busted. You don't get off on a technicality.
If it's changed to not be fentanyl, but it has all the same similarities and all the same negative effects. I mean, it just at that point it's just poison, though. I mean, fentanyl is prescribed in hospitals, so I think that's part of what gets lost in the discussion here. Is too many people think that what's on the street is the same thing that can come across that can be given to you by a doctor.
Yes, because that was the testimony of the doctor from North Shore.
Right.
He was speaking about how his child took a pill. It had been laced with fentanyl. So it might have Xanax. It might have something else, but it's got fentanyl too. And so, or a fentanyl-like substance. And so you got to understand, if the doctor's not giving it to you and the pharmacist is not dispensing it to you, then don't take it.
Does the bill get into, or does the act get into, like, how far removed from fentanyl this can be, or is it just a simple matter of looks like a duck, walks like a duck?
Basically, looks like, walks like,
yeah.
Because it's still going to have a chemical structure that is similar to fentanyl. And so it may not be fentanyl, but if you look at it, you say it's in the same class of drugs. It's at most a close cousin. And so therefore, that's why it has all the same addictive effects.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meanwhile, it is another tool in the arsenal that law enforcement has to go out there and battle in this fight. I mean, from 2018 to 2022, we saw a record number of fentanyl deaths every single year in the state of Louisiana. Bit of a reprieve in 2023 as we did not finally see a record number, but we still saw, like, I want to say it was 1,100 and change that passed away, that died from a fentanyl overdose in 2023. So it's still at, like, ridiculous numbers. Hopefully this can help out a little bit.
That's our prayer, man. That's our prayer. And it's one thing that we all do together. One more thing I'll say.
Go for it.
Because this made sense to me. It made sense to me. One of the women there who's involved in helping people off, she says, we teach a 4-year-old to look both ways crossing the street. We teach a 4-year-old not get in a car with strangers. We should teach a 4-year-old not to take a pill offered to them by somebody besides their parent or a doctor.
100%. He is Senator Bill Cassidy. I appreciate a couple minutes, sir.
Hey, thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Quick break. When we come back, on the backside, we're going to talk with Jim Rock, visiting down in the Lake Charles area again. That's coming up next. Do you like me yet? Have I made up for it yet? Guys, do you think I'm cool again? Yeah, it's such an uphill battle for him. .718 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Thanks again to Senator Cassidy for a couple minutes this morning. Pivoting now to Southwest Louisiana, where, okay, so a week ago today, I was at the Legislator Conference, and we did the show live from there, and come to find out, we had more content than we had airtime, and, well, there's just some folks that we wanted to get lined up that we couldn't make it happen at the time, but we're making it happen right now. Jim Rock is with the Lake Area Industry Alliance. He's on the hotline right now. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing very well. It's great meeting you last week. I tell you what, start with a recap of the Legislator Conference, not just this year, but kind of for the Baton Rouge audience who might not know it that well, the purpose of it and its growth.
Sure. Yeah, this was the 20th year of Legislator. It's put on by the local chamber and alliance of Southwest Louisiana. And I believe we had like 1,000 people there this year. So it's like the biggest event of the year as far as business people interacting with elected officials, including city and parish officials, national folks. Governor Landry was there, of course. And it's just a great, it sells out every year, and it's one of those things you just don't want to miss.
Absolutely. And it got started as, well, if I could put words in y'all's mouth, it kind of got started as a way to get legislators in your backyard to remind them of some of the cool stuff you're doing. I mean,
exactly.
But it's taken a life from there.
Yeah, it has. But you're right. It's a reciprocal benefit. It's a good thing for local industry and business to share information and updates with our elected officials. as well as a good opportunity for the elected officials to tell us what they. Of course, they always tell us what they think they've accomplished, and but also what they're working on and what their goals are.
Did you say what they think they've accomplished? we, I love that.
I might have said that.
Yeah, you might have. We got Jim Rock on with us. He's with the Lake Area Industry Alliance. Okay, for those that don't know, what is the LAIA? What do y'all do?
Well, we are an organization that started right at 25 years ago. Started out with about 4 or 5 industrial leaders over here, plant managers that thought they needed to get together and work together in integrating into the local community. And we've grown. I've been in this position for almost 6 years now. I started my career back in 1977 with PPG Industries here, right out of college, where I graduated from the University of Alabama. So got to throw a Roll Tide in there. And then worked for PPG for 39 years, 4 years for Lotte Chemical, and been in this job. So we now have 27 members. So we had 22 when I took over about 6 years ago. We've got 27 now. I'm meeting with another company this afternoon. It'll be hopefully number 28. And what we try to do is provide a channel of communication between industry and the community, the elected officials, educators, civic leaders, and we work closely with a lot of nonprofit organizations. Mm-hmm. We try to inform everybody about the benefits that industry brings, the jobs we create, that we're good stewards of the environment, and work closely with local education all the way K through 12, of course, but also Sahuela and McNeese. And now, in a couple of months, we're going to have the LNG Center of Excellence open at McNeese. So we work closely with them for workforce development for obvious reasons.
You're the second person this week that's mentioned that LNG Center of Excellence over at McNeese. Tell me about that. What's going into that?
It is an idea that came up about 4 or 5 years ago, and got some funding. We were able to apply for a grant and won about $2.8 million grant from the Department of Energy for that. And which, of course, isn't enough money to build a building like we did. But we got funding also from the city, from the parish, from the local LNG facilities that are operating or planning to be operating, and built this, it's about a $12 or $13 million facility, 2 stories, right on the McNeese campus. And it is going to serve a couple of purposes. One, it's going to educate people, students at McNeese, for all the job opportunities in the LNG area, but also it's going to be a continuing education opportunity for the existing LNG workers.
The future of LNG has got to be looking good right now. Specifically for Louisiana. I had Tommy Fauché on from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association on earlier this week, and he was talking about just what's on tap, what's in the future. How much of that rolls through Lake Charles and the Lake area?
Well, it rolls through, I'd like to say, southwest Louisiana. So not a whole lot is within the city limits of Lake Charles. But, of course, we're the largest town or city in the parish. And the LNG, right now we have 3 operating facilities that operate, which Near's down on the coast, Venture Global down the coast, and Cameron LNG is in upper Cameron Parish. The 3 of those last year produced and exported over 50% of all LNG exports from the United States. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And besides that, there's another 50 to 70 billion with a B dollars that's planned to be invested in Southwest Louisiana, either new facilities or expansion of existing facilities. And so to have an LNG Center of Excellence, where else would you put it but Lake Charles?
Talking about that a little bit, and that investment and what's to come. When Governor Landry was at Legislature last week, he was mentioning jobs that are on the horizon, and he threw out a number that I thought was a ridiculous number for average salary. I know I've got it right here. I know I've.
Yeah, I think he said 200,000 a year. Is that right?
Like per? I know. Is that anywhere near accurate?
Well, it's not accurate for the entry level operator, perhaps. Although it's not too doggone far.
Okay.
All those jobs have been created, from the existing facilities in the last 5 to 10 years. And they're excellent, good-paying jobs. Those facilities are really, really clean. All they're doing is, they're taking natural gas, compressing it, putting it in ships, and shipping it around the world to our customers and our allies. And so they're really favorable jobs. Now, you got to drive a little bit further depending on where you live to get there. So to entice people down there, they were offering jobs to operators, engineers, accountants, HR, whatever.
Yeah.
And really jacking up the salaries and the benefits to get them down there. And if you hear a big sucking sound in Southwest Louisiana, it's the talent going from the I-10 corridor from the existing facilities down into Cameron Parish.
Yeah.
So it's every job that they created there, many of them were filled by existing facilities folks. So we're having to hire more and more to backfill with the refineries and chemical manufacturers that are around I-10. And we've got our 20, I didn't mention this earlier, but our 27 members have about 9,000 direct jobs. Then there's another 5 to 10,000 contract and construction jobs in a given day. So, and we have an attrition of about 12% of our direct employees per year. So about 12% either transfer, retire, quit, whatever. So we have to hire 1,000 people a year just to maintain that 9,000. And when these other facilities come up, they're going to create another 1,000 to 1,500 jobs. So there's a tremendous need to maintain the people we got and bring in talent like myself and others from other states.
Well, how much is maintenance right now or maintaining right now, and how much is buffering out to make sure you're fully staffed up as carbon capture grows as well? Because that's going to play a role here.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, that's of course Louisiana's. I think we were the fourth state to get primacy to where we could do our own permitting versus waiting on the folks in D.C. For the permitting. And so there's a lot of applications have been put in, and I firmly believe that the first carbon capture and sequestration project that actually happens is going to be in Southwest Louisiana. And that's a good bit of money invested. It doesn't create a whole heck of a lot of permanent jobs once they're up and operating, not like a large facility that needs maintenance and operations and a lot of overhead. But it adds something to it.
No, so yes, but what it does is it sparks other growth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it perpetuates and supports the existing LNG facilities, because a lot of the customers that are in Europe and other countries are wanting lower carbon intensity energy, and that's the key to getting there.
Right, and as we continue to move forward, the usage part of that equation is going to start to the usage part is going to re-enter the equation eventually.
Sure. And as you know, as global population increases and more nations get more advanced in their technology and energy needs and energy use, I don't know where the demand ends. It just keeps going and going.
No, absolutely.
And we're in a perfect place because we got the deep water port, so we can ship that stuff from all the way up to Lake Charles, up to the 210 bridge, even all the way to the Gulf. We've got pipelines. If you look at a map of natural gas pipelines, no matter where you are in the United States, it seems like they all terminate or go through Southwest Louisiana. We've got great workforce development opportunities, and we've got the right geology, among other things, for the carbon capture and sequestration. So it's just I would say a perfect storm. It's not really a storm. It's a perfect equation for economic development.
We don't say storm between June and November, to be sure.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thanks for that reminder.
Absolutely.
It's been a few years since Hurricane Laura.
Exactly. Now, while it could be close to perfect, but what is your biggest pain point right now? What do y'all need in Lake Charles, or what do y'all need in the Southwest Louisiana?
We're still recovering from, mentioned storms. We're still recovering from Hurricane Laura and Delta. It's been 5 years now, but we have, with the Community Foundation, which I'm a board member of and I happen to be the chair of the board right now, we have been recipients of like $10 million plus in donations to rebuild and restructure Southwest Louisiana. So we came up with 10 different projects to improve Southwest Louisiana. So we need to improve the quality of life here. we need to make it a place where people that are existing citizens want to stay here, and we need to make it a place that's attractive to bring in some more people because we need additional families, we need additional talent, we need additional workforce. So it's very important. I was telling a group last night that my job with the Lake Area Industry Alliance, my job with as a volunteer with the Community Foundation kind of complement each other. We're creating jobs on one hand, and we're bringing people in, hopefully, with the other side.
He is Jim Rock with the Lake Area Industry Alliance. Man, look, this is not the last time we're going to talk because y'all got a lot going on, and I want to stay up to speed on it. So I appreciate you hopping on board for a couple minutes this morning.
Absolutely, yeah, and be glad to join you anytime. And you're right. I can't think of any place in the state or almost in the South where there's more exciting activities going on right now.
Yep.
It's a great time to be here.
Which I learned all about that because I went to Lake Charles for Legislator, and that's the whole point of it, right?
That's it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We'll talk to you soon, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right, you bet. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks. Here's news. I have a feeling my 735 is going to bail. Oh. front end. .736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Back to the hotline in just a quick second. Do need to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website if you wanted to check them out. LandmarkBankLA.com. Look, we've seen time and time again where you can watch the Super Bowl and see the commercial for the big national bank or international banks. You know who the big boys are. But we also have experienced in our own personal lives, whether we talk about going through the PPP process during COVID or with our own personal savings, investing, borrowing. When you have a banker, it goes a long, long way. Having a banker makes all the difference in the world. And that's what they focus on at Landmark Bank. Is since 1897, they have been a community bank. Whether you're in Zachary or you're in Bruley or you're in Denham or wherever you're at within that community, they become a part of the community. Check them out online at landmarkbankla.com, landmarkbankla.com. All right, we've got, today's August 22nd. We got less than 2 months to go until Election Day in Louisiana. I know, hadn't been on a whole lot of people's radars, but there are a number of races out there. One of those is for judge, and one of the candidates is Vicky Jones. She's on with us right now. Vicky, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Doing very well as well. So, yeah, so far this election's kind of flown under the radar a little bit. How's the campaign been?
Campaign's been very busy, but very good.
You are, let's see, you are on the ballot for, I believe it is city court judge, district court judge.
That's correct.
Bring us up
I'm running
to speed.
for 19 JDC.
19 JDC is what you're looking for here. Is this your first go at a campaign to run for judge?
It's not. I actually ran for judge in 2023.
Okay. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who you are, what brings you to this point in your career, and why you want the gig.
I am Vicky Jones. I have practiced law in and around Baton Rouge for the last 33 years. Proud graduate of LSU Law School and an even prouder professor at the Southern University Law Center now. I am running for the position of judge just to bring my zest and zeal to another level. I fought for my clients for like the last 33 years, and now I want to bring that fight to the courtroom so that I can have a bigger impact on the community.
The role of the 19th JDC, I mean, because there are, the seemingly infinite numbers of types of courts that people can run for judge in. What is the role that you're looking for here?
Okay, well, in Baton Rouge, you have your city court that you mentioned earlier, and district court. District court is where you have a civil bench and a criminal bench. And on a criminal bench, you can prosecute misdemeanors and felons. Civil court is, that's where they handle like lawsuits, personal injuries, or, lawsuits between people. So on the district court level, that's the seat that I am running for.
I've been bumping around your website a little bit, kind of getting your background. Man, you have tried cases all over the state.
Right. In the last 33 years, and again, not just across the state, but at all levels. I've handled cases in city court. I've handled cases in district court. I've handled them in federal court, the Court of Appeal. And one of the distinguishing factors of my campaign and my career is that I've had the opportunity to argue at our state's Supreme Court.
Being able to put all that on the resume builds up towards, it builds up towards who you would be on paper as a judge. Tell us a little bit about your approach and how you would tackle the job from your own personal perspective.
And that's one of the things that I want to bring to the bench, the personal aspects of my life, not just the studying, not just the books, but the fact that I've had, life experience. I'm a mother. I'm a single parent of a son. So I bring that to the bench with me as well. I've been very active in our community, in my church. And so those are the things that I'm bringing to the bench. The benchmarks for me are public safety, treating everybody with dignity and respect. Those are big things for me as far as what I want to bring to the bench.
Walk me through a little bit about on this front here. Let's start with the public safety one because I feel like that's probably the easier of the two of those topics to tackle. Your influence over public safety would look like what when practicing as a judge? Because it's, things have to be brought to you. You can't go seeking them.
That's correct. So two things. One of them is, as a judge, it would be my job to listen to evidence, weigh it fairly, and treat everybody with dignity and respect and give them an even playing field. As far as the public safety aspect, one thing that I've always said throughout my career is that not everybody that commits crime is a criminal, that people should have the opportunity not to be judged by their worst day. On the other hand, I absolutely believe in punishment for the crime that's committed. But I want to, I say we should always temper justice with mercy. Look at the whole person. But I don't believe that people who commit crimes, should be able to walk away from them and just, be given a free pass. But I think that there's a balance there that we need to look at.
So the balance itself. Okay. Can these things be separated? Because I feel like if you're looking at just the law that's in front of you, the law that may or may not have been broken, don't you have to sort of kind of ignore all the rest of it in order to just adhere to the law?
Well, you have to adhere to the law and look at the law, but you also have to consider all the other circumstances. People aren't going to, if it were as simple as just looking at the law and the fact that somebody broke the law, then there won't be a lot of need for a court. So other things are factored in. Prior to getting to that point, there are other things that we should factor. In fact, now there are things such as mental health that we need to consider. And I'm not saying that changes the law. What I'm saying is that may change, how you look at the case as a whole. The law is going to be the same. And a judge's job is to apply the law to the case and the facts that are presented.
We got Vicky Jones with us running for district court judge right here in the 19th JDC. Vicky, you want to walk through the other part of that, the dignity and respect part of that? Because you elaborated on it a little bit, but I want to continue down this path. Is that having respect for another human being, showing them dignity, showing them, that treating them as a person doesn't skirt what the law is, though. That you're not bending one to get to the other.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The law is the primary focus, is always going to be primary for a judge. I don't make the laws, but I have to follow them as written.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I can't treat the person that's in front of me with dignity and respect, regardless of who they are or where they've come from or how they got there.
Got just a couple minutes left with Vicky Jones running in the 19th JDC for district judge. Vicky, I want to ask you about the campaign trail a little bit, because when you're running for judge, these aren't the biggest budget campaigns out there. They don't garner a whole lot of headlines. In fact, I think the only, when I was prepping for this interview, the only articles I saw about you were about a question about eligibility, which has since been resolved. So walk me through a little bit about the campaign trail, what it's like trying to get out there and not just introduce yourself, but explain the role that you're seeking.
Yeah, the campaign has changed a little bit from when we started. The governor signed an order back in June that has expanded the district. So our district basically went from 54,000 registered voters to right now standing at 150,000.
Wow.
So we are all the way up to the parish line in Baker, Zachary, a small part of Central, and a very vast part of East Baton Rouge Parish. So the campaign trail for me every day is getting out and meeting as many people as I can and getting as much feedback from the community as I can, so that I know what's concerning the community. And a lot of it has been also educating people on what the justice system is and what it looks like. That has been a very rewarding part, to be able to get out to the community, talk to them, and, make sure that they understand judges are human. And that's not going to change when I'm on the bench. I will be just accessible to them now once I'm on the bench as I am now. And I think that, that kind of alleviates a lot of people's concerns, knowing that, they will have some accessibility to the court.
Got just a couple minutes left with Vicky Jones. Want to ask you about that feedback. What are you hearing from folks? What are their biggest concerns right now?
Oh, a lot of people are concerned from a criminal aspect about why it takes so long for cases to be prosecuted. We've gotten some questions about, the public safety issues and, whether or not, the judge is going to follow the law as far as sentencing is concerned, and just some general questions about, what happens in court, how the court process proceeds every day. And that's been the biggest thing. People don't really understand the process of how things move through the court system. So I'm thankful and grateful for having the opportunity to share that with people so that we can alleviate those concerns, that court is no longer the scary place. They feel like that when they go there, they're going to be treated fairly. And that seems to be very important. And I'm glad I've been able to share that with people in the community.
Got just a minute or so left, Vicky. Give me the pitch here. Like, say I'm one of the doors you knock on. Why would I vote for you?
Because we need a judge on the bench who has the experience, and I have that. With the 33 years of practice, I have the experience that it's going to take to do the job from day one. The day that I take the bench, I'm ready. I've tried cases, both bench trials, jury trials, and I've seen the inside of the courtroom from both sides, having been a prosecutor and a defense attorney, having represented plaintiffs and having defended the city in civil cases. So I've seen both sides, and I'm ready to go from day one.
She is Vicky Jones, running for district court judge right here in the 19th JDC. I appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. Absolutely. We're at 748 at Talk 107.3 FM. WBRP. Need to meet up with Your Money Now coming up in just a little bit. Hey, don't forget next hour we've got Foodie Friday. Foodie Friday is, of course, presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. BeefIt'sWhat'sForDinner.com is the website. BeefIt'sWhat'sForDinner.com. Love our Foodie Fridays, and I love our partnership with the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. I can't wait to get Rouge Creole in here, see what they're going to be cooking up. One of the reasons I like the partnership with the Louisiana Beef Industry Council is, aside from just good Louisiana guys, just good old folks, but aside from that, is that food is fuel. Okay, whatever you're putting in your body, whatever you're going to get out of your day, it starts with what you're putting in your body. And beef has protein. Beef has iron. Beef has 10 vitamins and minerals. No matter what stage of your life you're at, beef is fuel for your body. Your output is only as good as your input. And beef is about as good of an input as you can get. Learn more at BeefIt'sWhat'sForDinner.com. We celebrate them all, quote-unquote, grilling season long from Memorial Day to Labor Day, even though we're actually carrying the segment on through a good chunk of the football season because grilling season is tailgate season as well. Foodie Friday coming up less than an hour from right now. Hey, JP, do we have
yes.
Do we have 30 seconds before we have to hit Your Money Now?
We have exactly 35, 34.
Oh, okay. So is there enough time to do the promo?
Ooh, it's too good to just kind of squeeze
I
in.
I don't have the setup for it. We got to find room for it on the back end.
I know.
There's something coming up next Thursday that we're going to let Moon promo it as well. Moon's in studio today. It's going to be coming up on the Moon Griffon show, and we need to start telling folks about it. I tell you what, on the back end, let's squeeze 30 seconds out of this day in history, and we'll hit it then. Right now, here is Your Money Now. By the way, I forgot to write this day in history right there for this segment. Okay.
Some people in the chat were demanding Family Feud or just asking about it. So let's go. For the parents out there, what's an excuse kids use to avoid bedtime?
Wait, do you have the cards?
Got it on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have cards.
Yeah. So What's an excuse kids use to avoid bedtime? All right, so let's see. Not tired. Monster under the bed. Let's see. All right. Well, although both of those are some of the answers, the top one is not tired. Not tired is the first. So, congratulations, Keith. You got it, man. Yeah, Byron, exactly. I'm not done playing on Roblox. Ugh, trying to escape a Diddy party. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Name something people pretend to understand but really don't.
Wait, are you giving them time to answer, man?
Yeah, I have. I already had some answers. Name something people pretend to understand but really don't.
Carbon capture.
Well. Good guesses, Keith and Renee. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yeah, Byron, you too.
$7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. So we're going to get to This Day in History in just a second. Of course, This Day in History is always presented by the folks of 5 Star Printing and Signs. Dan and his team continuing to do a bang-up job. When it comes to your company's reputation, oftentimes your business card is your first impression. You know, you meet somebody, you shake their hand, you say hello, you hand over your business card, and that's what they're going to get. They'll look at that. Do you need a refresh on that business card? 2714096. Maybe you have a brochure you want to hand over, shows a little more information on what you do and how you do things differently. 2714096. 5 Star Printing and Signs has got you covered. Look at all the signage on your walls. Look at the signage in front of your building. Anything you've got on paper, anything that's got your brand, anything that's got your logo. 5 Star Printing and Signs. Printshop5.com is the website. Printshop5.com. All right, before we get to This Day in History, got to tease it. I'm a Steel Moon's Thunder here real quick. Coming up on Thursday, 1 week from yesterday. You ready for this?
Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting we all thought was impossible is about to happen. Will it be a friendly conversation, a battle royale, or the beginning of a classic bromance? Thursday, August 28th at 10 a.m., Senator Bill Cassidy will join Moon Griffon in studio. And you'll hear it right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Only a psycho would miss this.
I can't wait. It's going to be ginormous. It is going to, and Moon's going to talk a lot about it coming up in his show, but that's going to be huge. All right, this day in history. Let's roll.
All right, beginning in 1902, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt becomes the first U.S. president to ride in an electric car.
Okay, go ahead, Teddy. Gotta love that.
That's it.
You didn't want to start in 1485?
What's that?
The Wars of the Roses ended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see what else we got here. I got a ton, but for the sake of time here, let's go. Let's fast forward to 1986, where the movie, the film Stand By Me is released.
Oh,
yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Featuring River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, of course.
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell.
You guys want to see a dead body?
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
that's actually the slogan of Baton Rouge.
Oh, hey, 1992, Sting and Trudy Styler.
That wasn't fair. I need to not do that.
They held their wedding reception. The couple married, of course, this day, 1992. After the Trogs had played a set, all three members of the Police got on stage and played a couple of numbers. What would it be like to play your own wedding reception? Hey,
play
get
your
up there,
own
Sting.
wedding reception?
Sting, get up there, play a few.
Yeah, no.
Every breath you take. Okay, I'll do it. All right.
Yeah, it's no.
I'll get up here.
It's your reception.
I know,
Here's the
right?
flip side of that, though.
What's that?
How would you like to be the wedding band playing for Sting?
Right.
You know?
I mean, come on. And all members of the Police are there. You know, there are other big time musicians there.
And you know they've got like the wedding band name. You know, hey, we're the Tune-Ups.
These are the Trogs.
The Trogs.
The Trogs. Troggs. Trogs.
Hey, this day in 2004, the Scream was stolen.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
I saw that. Hey, you know what? Talking fentanyl and everything, this day in 2016, autopsy results in June revealed that Prince died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. This day.
Prince was fentanyl, or was he?
Yeah,
no, Michael Jackson was propofol.
It was reported that pills seized from the home of Prince contained the dangerously powerful synthetic opioid fentanyl, but were mislabeled. Officials investigating the artist's death said the pills were labeled as hydrocodone, a weaker type of opioid.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Birthdays. Quick.
Music related, Lane Staley, Dua Lipa.
Okay.
Let's see, actress Kristen Wiig as well.
All right. Also music related, John Lee Hooker. And then in the world of sports, we got Carl Yastrzemski, born on this day in 1939, Bill Parcells in 1941, Paul Molitor in 1956, and wide receiver Adam Thielen.
Let's see, slow day in deaths here. I got Richard III of England, Huey P. Newton, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Kate Chopin as well. National Day?
Eat a Peach Day.
Eat a Peach Day?
You know,
whatever. Yeah. All right. We got a break. Let's get out of here. Hour 3's next.
Whew. Okay. Studio. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, this is actually JP. This is his producer. But we're going to have you up here in just a few short minutes. Awesome. Oh, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. Thank you, ma'am. I'll put you on hold. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Is he set up already?
Is he coming through my headphones? I don't think so. I hear you.
Joe, can you hear?
Yeah, all I'm hearing is ABC. Well, I'm hearing me too. I don't hear him.
You're not hearing anything over here? Can you hear us at all, Joe?
No, ABC is on for us.
Yeah, but remember you on Comrex too. Does that make a difference? Okay. Check that real quick. And will we have to make adjustments over here? Hey, y'all hold. Y'all probably okay. Bill's gonna check. Because we were using Comrex 1, and last few times we've been on road in Comrex 2, so he may have to make a
Okay. All right. Is this Lily on hold? Okay. Wait a minute. Hey, Rich.
No, they said they heard Fox or you.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. You're good.
About a minute or two, Joe. Okay, time. That's what mine does. He's got to do something on his. Oh, really? Yeah. It's saying timed out like it does on me sometimes. Joe, you got to do something on that.
And then it kicks me out. It says requesting the call.
Okay, he's saying he's sending it from us now. Can you hear? Mic check. He's trying to get one. All right, I'm out of here. Click on that and see, still not received. I'll tell you when.
It says on mine. It says requesting the call.
See, that's what it does on mine when it's a problem on that. But you just hone what you got. Okay. Because Joe Comrex is doing the same thing mine was doing.
Okay.
You have to do it to the
Okay.
When they get that fixed, we'll be okay.
Okay, yeah. I was like, what?
Eight 806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now, and it is a nonstop. I mean, we're just blowing right through it this hour, y'all. Coming up in a little while, coming up half an hour from right now, Rouge Creole's going to be in the house. Foodie Friday, presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Coming up just after 8:15, and Dr. Katie Spring from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center going to be joining us. Right now, though, we go to the hotline where so an hour ago we had Senator Bill Cassidy on talking about his Halt Fentanyl Act. Yesterday at the presentation, there were a number of folks telling their stories. about how fentanyl has taken lives from their loved ones. And one of those stories came from Lily Harvey, who's on with us right now. Lily, welcome back to Talk 107.3. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine this morning. Thank you, Brian.
Glad to have you on, although I hate the topic, but you got to take solace in where the topic is actually eventually going to be headed. I want to start as basic as this. Tell Baton Rouge the same story you told at the podium yesterday.
All righty. Well, in 2017, my beautiful 28-year-old daughter was found overdosed in a park in Alexandria, Louisiana. And at that time, I didn't know a lot about fentanyl. The nation was going to find out because that's when our drug epidemic really, really just boomed. And I wanted to get involved with an advocacy. And so I just started looking all over the state. I said, I know the overdose epidemic is happening. I know the drug epidemic is happening, and I want to be one of those moms. I want to get in there, and I want to dig my feet in and help somebody else not to know the deception of fentanyl. Well, there wasn't any. So I just stepped out. God just gave me he commissioned me to go out and do something. And that was in 17. We went from having one event a year until we do 28 events a year now for awareness. And it just grew. We've covered 16 cities in Louisiana. I have 23 chairmen who are all affected by fentanyl. If they haven't lost a family member, they have survived an overdose or they are in recovery. So that particular incident just changed the trajectory of my life. And so in 22, in 17, the guy who stole my daughter the fentanyl was convicted. And a lot of families started reaching out to me and wanted to know what could they do to get justice for their child. And everything just fell in place for Millie. And I really didn't know that she was one of the first in the South to get a conviction. Actually, there was only two until just within the last year or so, and for an overdose death with fentanyl. And so I just decided I would start meeting with lawmakers, and Senator Womack from District 32, he took us on, and we were able to get Millie's law passed that made heroin and fentanyl a crime of violence. But we were just gung-ho at that point. And then there's a lot of people were dying after that, and we found out the justice system just never does use it. It's on the books, but it's just not used. So that's why when the Halt Fentanyl Act got signed into law by President Trump was so it made us all so ecstatic, is because we just felt like that being on the federal level and reclassifying fentanyl as a Schedule 1 would really help what we had worked so hard to put on the books here in Louisiana.
We're talking with Lily Harvey. Lily Harvey is, of course, Millie's mom. Millie Mattered is the Facebook page if you want to learn more about what her advocacy group is up to and how they're going about trying to raise awareness literally everywhere they can. Lily, want to talk to you a little bit about you mentioned Millie's law that came out. I want to say that was 2022. The very next year, State Representative John Stefanski passed a law that really put a lot of weapons in the arsenal of law enforcement in order to attack fentanyl at a greater rate as well. And then 2023 was the first year since 2018 that we didn't see a record number, year-over-year record number of fentanyl overdose deaths. I'm of the belief that this is a combination of tougher laws and advocacy. And these things have to work together, hand in hand. Talk to me a little bit about how y'all have been able to grow your message and make sure people are learning about fentanyl, the dangers, not just the dangers of fentanyl, because I know we hear that word, we think one thing, but the truth of the matter is it can be anywhere. So talk to me a little bit about how you spread your message.
Well, we have events in the major cities across Louisiana. We do the drug epidemic walks in the spring and the Moonlight Memorials. As we advertise and put the word out for this is how you start getting people to come into these events. When you I have schools that have brought their classes, like younger people, to the events. We have groups that come from churches. That way, when you start pulling people into these events, that gives us the opportunity to educate them on, number one, the dangers and deception of fentanyl, and how you can get it without knowing it, and how, exposure to it can be deadly. And we also hand out Narcan. I think we have probably hand out over 30,000 single nasal hits of Narcan over the last 5 years.
Wow.
So we make sure that we educate them on that Narcan is not the cure-all, but in this day and time, to give somebody a second chance, because fentanyl is so prevalent, you never know where you're going to see someone experiencing an overdose. Matter of fact, when I did an overdose awareness event in Alexandria, a guy came to my event. I'm so glad he did, because he stopped, and his dealer was at the service station. He took a pill and he overdosed at our event.
Oh, wow.
So that is just one of the things I said. You don't ever know when or where it's going to happen. So that is our opportunity by holding these events. And, of course, the Facebook page. We tell everybody it's an information highway. If you're looking for treatment, if you're looking for a recovery group, or if you just need someone to talk to, and if you've lost a child, you're not alone. Reach out to us on Millie Mattered Overdose and Addiction Advocacy Facebook page.
Got just a couple minutes left. We've got 2 minutes left with Lily Harvey. What do you think is the hardest part on that education front? What is the toughest part of the message to get across?
The toughest part is to your young people. That is the generation that we're using. Our young people are very trusting and very susceptible to peer pressure. So that particular part is something that we need so badly in our schools to work on. Is I have a little girl that just started helping me with that age group. She lost her sister. She's a college student, and she said that most of Louisiana colleges students come from the little small towns from all around. They grew up with the people. They've gone to school with them their whole life. And when they get to college, they make new friends, and they trust them just like they did the people they grew up with.
Yeah.
And they said, I need to study for an exam. They go, well, here's a pill. It'll help you stay up. Or, God, I just broke up with my boyfriend. Oh, I know somebody who has a pill. It'll help ease your anxiety over that. And it's actually press pills from some dealer that they, that has infiltrated a college campus or high school students on the internet. So that particular message, that how dangerous this is to these young people, is a very hard door to go through. We cannot, but a lot of times they're not letting us in.
Let's take it before we get you out of here, and I greatly appreciate your time this morning. As you've grown in this advocacy realm, what's the one thing you need? What's the thing you need more than anything else in order to help you in your fight?
I need participation. We need people to come out, volunteer, be the ones to help us, spread the word, be proactive. We need more. We're starting to get more participation from law enforcement. It's taken us several years. At first they were just kind of like ho-hum, but, we need our community leaders to come out to these events, support us, let the community know that they're all in. That's what we need. We need people that say, yes, we're right there, and let's go get them.
Millie Mattered Overdose and Addiction Advocacy is the group. If you just look up Millie Mattered on Facebook, you will find it. She is Lily Harvey. I appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you too.
Absolutely. Quick break. When we come back, we've got Dr. Katie Spring in from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. It is Childhood Obesity Awareness Month. We'll talk about it next. Oh, dadgummit. I thought I was going to make it through the show today, man. Thought I was going to make it through the show. Let me drag over the table now so Rouge Creole can get set up behind us while we're talking about obesity and stuff in my face. Killer Mike's. .820, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Was telling JP heading into the break, are we really going to talk childhood obesity and then invite the folks from Rouge Creole in the very next segment? Yes! It's what we do around here. It is Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, and we have a great partnership with the folks over at the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. I want to welcome Dr. Katie Spring back. You've been on the show before, right?
I'm not sure if I have.
I think you have. I'm pretty sure. Hey, either way, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
No, glad to have you on. Let's talk a little bit about your research and what you're doing in the childhood obesity battle.
Absolutely. So my work primarily focuses on the age ranges of 2 to 5 year olds.
Mm-hmm.
And I typically work in child care centers. Traditionally, that means I'm working to try and address the children themselves, help their health behaviors.
Yeah.
Recently, I've started to also make sure we're addressing the health behaviors of the child care providers, since they're the ones that are actually working with them day to day, and we want to take care of them as well.
In what form and fashion? Because 2 to 5 year olds, they're not signing up for Zumba classes.
They're not. So with childhood obesity, about 22% of children in America have obesity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a growing concern because it increases their risk for several health diseases.
Yep.
And 70% of children with obesity go on to have it as adults. With that, in Louisiana, those prevalences are a little bit higher. So we really want to try and start as early as possible. And at the 2 to 5 year old range is really when we start to develop some of our health behaviors in life. So that's really when kids start to develop those behaviors of lifetime physical activity and eating behaviors. So we're trying to get more nutritious food options available to them.
How difficult is that? Pop-Tarts are cheap and easy.
Pop-Tarts are really good. I love a Pop-Tart. I also told someone the other day that king cake season is my favorite season, but it's all in moderation, right?
Wait, you reduced king cake down to a season?
I love, you know.
You don't do the Christmas king cake?
I
and
do.
the
I do.
tailgate
I
king
do.
cake? Yeah.
You know, but you have to use it in moderation. So, like,
100%.
the best thing is when you're preparing your child's plate, or even when you're preparing your plate, you want to try and make sure that half of your plate is fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
A quarter of it is grain. A quarter of it is protein, and then bring in some of that low-fat dairy. So that's with our nutrition.
Okay.
And then the other side of it is physical activity. And a lot of times we think kids are getting enough physical activity because if you're ever around preschoolers, they're all over.
They don't
the
stop
place.
moving.
They
No.
don't stop moving. But they're actually not getting quite enough for what we would like.
We got Dr. Katie Spring in with us from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. All right, well, I want to stick on the diet front, on the intake part of this, because it's one thing to have the plan. It's one thing to know what should be on your plate, but actually getting it on your plate is different. What are the biggest challenges on that front? Are they monetary challenges? Are they habitual challenges? What's the hardest part?
You know, I think for every individual and for every family, those challenges are different. For some individuals, it's a habit. I love my in-laws. They're fantastic, but they are very into sport. Baseball season completely derails our entire diet because of how we have to work as a family. Other people trying to get fresh fruits and vegetables, and like the cost associated with that is very astronomical, and like trying to get that is difficult.
Yeah.
The other side of things is like with little kids, sometimes we're really picky on our food choices. And so sometimes we think, oh, I don't like that food anymore, so we just won't try it anymore.
Okay, and from there, you have the parental battle. And as a parent, I've only got so many rounds in the chamber. I got to pick my battle. My 9-year-old is 75% mac and cheese. Like, we make up for it in other meals, but there are days where it's like, I just can't. Just go, do your thing. Because they get, like you said, they get picky. They don't want to explore new foods. They don't want to. Brussels sprouts are not even an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's parentally, it takes discipline there as well. How big is that role in this overall fight?
Yeah, parents play a huge pivotal role in childhood obesity, mostly because we're the ones that are role modeling for the child the behaviors. And I hear where you're coming from. If you have a kid that constantly is like, nope, I just want my chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, at some point you have to, like, I'm not a dietitian, so the dietitians, please don't come for me. At some point you have to make sure your child is still getting food and nutrition. Like, they still need to eat, right? So I've worked with a couple of different, like, people that are dietitian based, and really it's just trying to constantly provide them that option. So we still have the option of having those fresh fruits and vegetables, and not even fresh. Like, if you have canned fruits and vegetables or frozen fruits and vegetables, those are good options as well. And so trying to always give it to them and not negatively speak on it. So if your kid doesn't like it one day, maybe we're saying the next day, hey, we didn't like it yesterday. We'll try it again another day. And just keep coming back to it.
So what we've done, what we've adapted to here is I'll take them over to Fresh Pickens and go. What you pick, you decide. That way, by the time it gets home, it's already been their choice. But I know the place where we bought it from, something good is coming home. So that's the front end of the battle from our end. All right, we'll move from the diet side to the behavior side. 2 to 5 year olds constantly moving around. How do we make sure that is effective?
Yeah. So in general, for children and most children, we want them to try and get about 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity a day. Now, everyone always says that. No one always tells you what that is. For children, the moderate activity is where we're putting in effort, but we can still talk. The vigorous activity is where we're putting in effort, but we're like labored breathing. We're not able to, like, speak as clearly.
Okay.
So, for example, dancing, hopscotch, jumping, running, those are all activities that you really want to try and encourage them to do.
Okay.
They're sporadic is the best way to describe it. So they'll be up and down all the time. But really for kids, physical activity is play. So the more that you can get out with them and play with them and just keep trying to get them involved in different things and keep getting them moving is the best.
60 minutes a day, does that need to be 60 minutes at a time?
No.
There we go.
No. Even for adults, like the sit less, move more is the kind of idea. So if you can get into like 15-minute breaks
Okay.
throughout the day, that's perfect.
Okay, so if you're breaking that down over the course of like with a hour, a couple hours in between or whatever,
Yeah.
it's it doesn't have to be. In fact, it shouldn't be one solid 60-minute interval just going hard and then
No.
23 hours of stagnant.
No, and even for adults, like I think the recommendations are about 30 minutes for us to be physically active each day. We
Okay.
want 150 minutes at the end of the week, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but with that, the timing, it's hard for us sometimes to like fit in our busy schedules 30-minute blocks to be physically active. So if we can break it up into short bouts and we're still getting that activity in and we're bringing in the kids and we're going and moving as a family, that's kind of what we want.
See, and the type of activity for adults is completely different too. Because if I ask people at the YMCA to play Red Rover, they give me looks.
This is true.
It's a different vibe altogether. Keeping with the healthy behaviors, how much of this needs to be on the forefront, and how much of it needs to be just subconsciously doing?
That's a great question. I like to take it as a mindset of every chance you can try and provide your child a discussion that's age appropriate about physical activity, about health behaviors and healthy eating options, the better. That said, by just demonstrating to your child, like, hey, look, I'm eating my fruits and vegetables tonight. I'm going to go for a walk as a family. That helps them too to start to learn those behaviors really early on. That like this is what we need to do. This is what mom and dad do. So this is what I should do.
Leading by example is so important
Yes.
on all fronts. I mean, step out of the dietary leading by example. As school gets back in, you go to parent teacher night, and the teachers will tell you if you read, your kids will read. And
Right. Exactly.
Same thing here. If I'm eating broccoli, then my kids will eat broccoli as well. What are some of the bigger misconceptions, myth busting, if we could, that a lot of parents have that they're not conveying or they should be conveying to their kids?
Okay, so one of the biggest things, I come from a physical activity background, basically. People have in their mind that physical activity and exercise are the same thing, and that's not necessarily the case. Stick with me.
Yeah.
So physical activity is really just getting up and moving, right? Exercise is technically where you're planning to go to the gym. So we're always like, I don't have time to be physically active. When in all reality, we probably are. We just need to find more ways to increase the intensity.
Okay.
So getting your kid involved in yard work. I know kids don't like yard work. I hated it as a kid. But, like, that's physical activity. Getting your kids to, like, go play and you playing with them, that's also physical activity. But, you know, for adults, maybe we need to go to the gym. That's how we schedule it out. So that's one of the biggest things is that people are always like, I don't have time to schedule it. And it's less of a schedule. It's more of a how does your life currently work and how can we incorporate more movement throughout the day?
What's being done over at Pennington right now? What's hot? What are y'all into?
Yeah, Pennington's got a lot going on. I know you're aware of the Grow Healthy initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things that we have going on with the childhood obesity. Now, Pennington as a whole, like this is kind of their thing,
I just meant within your wheelhouse.
Oh, my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I'm currently working with about 4 preschool centers to try and help support the preschool teachers. They have a lot of stress in their life, and they're caregivers at school. They go home, and caregivers are at home. So I'm really trying to set up a program to where we're taking care of the teachers as well as the kids as well.
Very cool stuff. She is Dr. Katie Spring from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. I appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Here's news. That went fast.
Thank you.
No. My pleasure. And kill my mic. 8:38, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to hand off to Moon Griffon in about half an hour from right now, a little bit less than half an hour from right now. We got Moon in studio today here in Baton Rouge. She came on over from Lafayette because something was smelling good, and that's Foodie Friday. Today we're welcoming in the folks from Rouge Creole. We got Jeff Conaway with us, and we've got, I'm sorry, was this your first name or your last name? We got Stick.
That's right.
All right.
It's kind of like Prince.
Okay. Family name?
Yeah. It has been passed down generations.
Stick Jr., Stick the Third.
It was the little Stick.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard. Glad to have y'all in here today. Let's start off with the basics. Of course, this is Foodie Friday presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. We're going to talk beef in just a little while, prep-wise and you know, how y'all adapted into your menu. But I want to start with the basics for those, if it's even possible that anybody doesn't know Rouge Creole. Give me the story behind it, the concept within it, everything you should expect from a Rouge Creole experience.
Yeah, so Rouge, we just turned 6 about a month ago, which is pretty exciting for us.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. You know, COVID screwed everything up. Feels like,
but it feels like
anything pre-COVID
Rouge has been
a decade ago.
A staple, man.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, right off of Blue Bonnet and Perkins Row. We just rolled out a new menu back in May, but, you know, Rouge, if you haven't been, you know, we want to take all these influences of Creole cuisine and just showcase that the best way possible for our guests. It's kind of our chef, Frederick. He gets to use the menu as his playground and take all his experiences from growing up in New Orleans to, you know, getting his chops in Providence, Rhode Island, working with great chefs all over the country, and just, you know, putting great food on a plate for our guests here in Baton Rouge.
I mean, the word Creole's right there in the name, but y'all bring a little bit more than that to the table.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Creole is always one of those funny things. You ask 10 people what Creole means, you're going to get 10 different definitions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're leaning more towards that more traditional French style, and that you typically get in those New Orleans restaurants. And you come in, you get a great experience, great food, great service. It's such a fun time to be in that restaurant.
Walk with me through the menu for a little bit here. A few of the items that what are some of the more popular, and we don't have to talk beef just yet. We'll get into that in a little bit, but just broaden out to the whole menu. Who the popular ones, the favorites, your favorite?
Yeah, I tell everybody, whether you're from Louisiana, and we get a lot of people from out of state, our eggplant and crawfish. Take fried eggplant medallions, top it with a garlic crawfish cream sauce, sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on top of it. That's available on all of our menus. It's also part of our happy hour.
Okay.
It's all you can get. We have our redfish beurre blanc. We're getting fresh Gulf redfish, topped with our lemon beurre blanc, jumbo lump crab meat, fried artichoke hearts, served with some sauteed green beans. You know, I've always said this, and now I'm getting people telling me every time I walk to the restaurant that this is the best fish dish in Baton Rouge, and I'll put that plate against anybody.
It's up there. It is so good. I've had that one a couple of different times.
Probably one of the best lunch spots in town, too.
Yeah.
So go there and get the fish grill.
You know, we go through our numbers every month, and we see the most popular dish on the menu is our fish grill lunch special. So your choice, fresh tuna, fresh salmon, fresh redfish, topped with your choice of sauce, served with a side and a salad.
Delicious.
What else y'all got? What's your personal favorite?
My personal favorite right now is a new dish on our menu. It's called the cherry duck. We got a Rohan duck breast. This is some of the best duck I've ever had. If you're health conscious, like, these are the best fed ducks. They champion that. Like, we're going to feed ducks food that they're supposed to eat, their natural habitat. And chef puts a great sear on it. It's served with a cherry reduction, andouille and leek sweet potato hash.
Ooh.
And he's got some pickled blueberries he throws in there for a little acid, and just everything just marries together fantastic.
Who pickles a blueberry?
Frederick Turlin, that's who.
That is fantastic. That sounds wonderful. So I haven't had that one yet. You said it's new on the menu.
It's new on the menu.
All right. No, that one is not one that I've had before. Chef, what's your favorite on the menu?
Oh, gosh. I love that. The arancini, the beef arancini. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones we brought with us today. It's absolutely delicious.
We're gonna talk about what y'all brought today in just a little bit. We got We get the folks from Rouge Creole in the house. This is Foodie Friday presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Their website, beefitswhatsfordinner.com, beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Let's talk a little bit about beef. Fuel for your body at every stage of life. Protein, iron, 10 vitamins and nutrients and whatnot, and it's good for you, but the flavors that it brings to the table are unbelievable. What y'all have brought in here today, tell me a little bit about that filet rouge.
Yeah. So certified Angus beef, seared, topped with that same crawfish cream sauce we talked about in the eggplant.
Mhm.
And that's just, we take, that great cut of beef and we make it as Louisiana as possible.
Okay, so part of the point of the segment is to help people up their game at home, up their own foodie game. Now, oftentimes when people bring in a filet or they bring in any type of steak, beef has such wonderful flavor to it on its own. And, we have a lot of beef purists. It's just, a little salt, little pepper, and that's it. When y'all put that sauce on top, what goes into making sure you have the right pairing, the right, complement to flavor so that they catapult each other rather than cancel each other?
All right. So you have to, especially with beef, you got to make sure if you're going to add other ingredients that are well seasoned, like that sauce is, that you're not overdoing it.
Right.
And that you want everything to marry together. One little trick that we started doing, we recently cut out all seed oils in our building. We switched to tallow, and we're actually cooking, searing the beef in the tallow.
Beef on beef right
beef
there.
On beef on beef.
Good stuff. And the cream sauce itself, and I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah.
I haven't tasted it here today. I believe I've had it in the restaurant before. But the cream sauce itself kind of takes a back seat to the beef. It still lets the beef run the show. It's still the star of the show. And the cream sauce is there just as a side compliment. I mean, crawfish is there because it's crawfish. Come on. It's always going to be a winner. But it's not there to overtake it. It's just there to complement.
That's right. As opposed to, whenever if you're cooking steaks at home, we all melt our butter, throw our garlic in there.
Yeah.
These things like this takes that part out of it. So that you have all your garlic flavors and all your other seasons that you want in there to marry the dish together. That's where it's coming from in that sauce.
Now, when you're adding a sauce as a complement to it, does it affect the prep of the beef in of itself? Like, I'm gonna be a rare plus or a medium rare guy. Does that change any because of adding a sauce? Does it continue the beef to cook, or do you have to underscore it a little bit?
No, because we're never going to get that sauce hot enough to continue to cook the beef.
Gotcha. What would complement that on the side?
On the side, garlic mashed potatoes.
There you go. I mean,
steak and potatoes, you can't go better than that.
Exactly. Some things you can never go wrong. You brought the brisket arancini in here as well. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, great thing about Rouge being a part of Citigroup Hospitality is we get to piggyback on some of our other restaurants. So, we use the City Pork smoked brisket.
Okay.
Yeah. Chef, we actually we sit it in the same smoked brisket debris gravy that we have for our debris po' boy. Finish it with spicy ranch and some aged Parmesan.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question. It might sound really, really stupid on the surface, but hear me out. What would be the difference between a brisket arancini and a brisket boudin, Paul?
Oh, the rice.
Oh, well, I mean, you get the rice and the boudin, right?
I'm actually going to say they're pretty similar. It's just kind of like there's maybe a different technique slightly with the seasonings in it, but it's going to be basically the same thing.
I joke with people all the time. It's like, Cajuns, we have boudin. Italians, they have arancini.
Why is it, an arancini? So if anybody doesn't know, an arancini is an Italian boudin ball. That's the only equation I have for it. It's just got a much, much fancier name.
Yeah, kind of like jambalaya and paella. We all steal from each other.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. All right, you get a debris po' boy as well.
Oh yeah. So same smoked brisket, set in our gravy that we let sit for I believe 6 hours. Fresh Leidenheimer bread delivered daily.
I'm going to destroy this thing. Did you say fresh brisket? Not like a roast.
No, that's brisket. That's smoked brisket. Again, Leidenheimer bread. The bread makes all the difference in the world. Buttered, toasted. Blue plate mayo, because we got a New Orleans chef. He refuses to use anything else.
Good man.
Lettuce, tomatoes, and we actually do. We use city pork pickles, so it's our own recipe for pickles.
All right. And again, the partnership there, the teamwork right there. You're able to lean on each other for both. We're going to dig in on that. So here's how we do it when we get to the break. I don't want to eat on air, but I will eat on Facebook Live. So I'll try everything during the break. JP will try everything during the break, and we'll give the review on the back end of that. Right now, though, as we're talking about Rouge Creole as part of Foodie Friday, presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, let's talk about 6 years in the making. growth points are where you just revamped the menu. Where are we looking to go? Where are we looking to take Rouge as far as like the overall restaurant scene of Baton Rouge is concerned? What do you see as your stamp on the scene?
So prior to this menu change, Rouge was always a great place to have to enjoy yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted 2025 to be about being able to stand by every dish on the menu and being proud to serve this to all of our guests. Whatever ingredients, whatever products we're using, we're making sure that we're making it the best that plate of food can be. And this menu is not our end-all, be-all menu. This is the base of where we go from here. And so chefs working hard right now. We use running specials and other things to R&D and just any great dishes you can come up in the meantime. We'll be adding them as we go.
And I'll add on to that a little bit, too, because Sticks also over at Rouge raising the level of service over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go in there and guarantee that you're going to have a great time with your server and bartenders and everybody else that's working in there.
And you mentioned the lunch a little while ago, and I want to follow up on that because I've been for lunch and I've been for dinner. And it is a bit of a different vibe for lunch. It's remarkably underrated business lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
The level of service doesn't drop off, but at the same time, it's like it's courteous without being intrusive.
Right.
Whereas it's a little more familial for dinner. It's a little more less formal, but more.
And they've got it set up to where you can
forth.
get in and out pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
You can get in there for 30, 45 minutes so you can get back to whatever you need to do.
Very, very good stuff. All right, we gotta hit your money now. We gotta hit traffic. That's what's happening on the air. Meanwhile, over on Facebook Live, we're gonna dig in. There's no way I'm not inhaling that debris po' boy. Well, we'll try it all. Give the full review on the back end. Right now, we do have your money now coming your way. Don't forget, Moon Griffon is in studio today. We brought him over from Lafayette. He's got a great show lined up for you. But that's not until after we're done. So here we go. Your money now. It's 8:50 at Talk 107.3 FM. All right, Facebook. I'm about to do some damage.
You want to leave everything right here?
I'm a
Get it all over the microphone accidentally.
I sliced the po' boy up, so that's individual pieces.
All right. Let's see. All right, Facebook crew. Let's see. All right. Oh, also going back to the Family Feud. I'm sorry, I'm talking to the Facebook audience. Going back to the Family Feud question earlier. So the answer, quantum physics was one of them, but the top was the stock market on something that people pretend to understand but really don't. So yeah. Also, JP, tell Stick I said hello and congratulations on his engagement to his sweetheart. Rue Creole's food is awesome. That comes from Galen in the Facebook crew. Also, Byron asked, does Rue Creole still have the serving robot?
No, the robot is gone. We retired. Bella Bob was a huge liability. We cannot. No, different Galen.
Oh,
Galen Gautreaux, I would imagine.
Yep.
It would. Yeah, Bella Bob was a liability. Our insurance would not insure any damages from the robot.
Was there?
Oh yeah.
What's the story behind it? Was it like a malfunction or something?
No. It was a cool somebody in our organization saw this robot, agreed to bring it in for a trial, and it was cool. I mean, it was cool. Like it's saying happy birthday to you. No, we just didn't have the space for it, and they programmed it. Just you had to move out of the robot's way.
Yeah.
Let it get through.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. There was
like,
no sensor. There was no stopping. It was just...
No, it did do all those things, but it's the spaces that we had weren't conducive for it. Like they had it was like the robot from Rocky IV.
It had eaten a bunch of the brisket sandwiches, so it got a little too big for the space.
That's funny.
Food must be good. It got real quiet on this side.
Yeah. I know
it's so complex.
In Denham at Airborne Extreme, the trampoline park, basically, they have one. They've got a robot in there, so it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But I mean,
there's some places like in the Northeast they actually use them to serve.
That's insane.
Like you put
the first time I seen it,
you put your food on it. They have a map of your restaurant on the screen. Tap the table, runs it to it.
Oh my goodness!
Pull from it.
Does it actually put the food down on the table?
No, it doesn't have arms.
The guests have to pull it off its little tray.
Wow.
Yeah, the back of the robot was all trays.
Oh, man.
You just slide everything on.
It's short circuit, delivering to your table.
Number Johnny 5.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Johnny
what it
5.
was.
Yeah.
That was one of the
Oh,
best
man.
movies growing up. You taking notes, Brian? I am. JP, you need to get in here?
Oh, I'll get it after the show.
Okay. Well, Moon's going to come
I got
back
too
in
many
here
things to
shortly.
touch
You
here.
better watch out.
We're just going to slide the table over so he can move on in.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I sliced the steak up for you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the brisket in here is completely different from the brisket here. Because y'all got whatever's seasoned in here, it pops so hard. Whereas I don't bite into a debris po' boy and expect smoky.
Yes.
And smoky is what leads the way. So
Yeah, you can just go and dig right in. Fun. Get that. The rarest piece is gonna be in the middle.
that's what I want.
There you go.
Look at that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's off of my grandfather's
Beef, right?
cast iron. It's 70-year-old cast iron skillet.
Beef, it's what's for breakfast.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Oh, you got some of the arancini?
You got to bite everything. Is Chuck P still up here or no?
No, he's over at WAFB now.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. It was. I can tell you about when we're not on air.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Hunt. Christmas morning.
It's not a good bag. Trucker hat, black polo, a lot of stuff I won't be wearing. But it's free.
All right. Thank you. We both work for LSU Sports Properties. So, like, I produce the radio broadcast, and he does pre and post game. Him, Brandon Taylor, and Marlon Favorite. So, usually it's about this time where we get our swag bags in for what we have to wear all year long.
Dude, it's almost like companies don't understand that they're marketing to the generation that doesn't have money to spend.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're getting left out. I don't wear anything.
What I do.
I still got LSU shirts from 20 years ago that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to buy any of the new stuff.
Oh, well, it's, oh, yeah. Get in there, man. Get your piece of steak.
That's what I want.
That's
You got a
dude,
just grab what you can.
Yeah, you can use that.
grab a piece of that po' boy.
Try this?
Yeah, try that and definitely try a piece of the po' boy.
What is that?
That's arancini.
That's an Italian boudin ball.
Italian boudin ball. See, that's how he's playing. Best Stop sponsors his show. So
7601 Blue Bonnet. Oh, you got it.
Oh, if you haven't been by there yet and you're in from Lafayette.
I'm telling you.
What is up? 856 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Foodie Friday continuing right now. Okay. First of all, wow. Unbelievable stuff from Rouge Creole as I got to dig in on everything that they brought in today as we celebrate beef, courtesy of the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. I'm going to start off with this. The filet rouge filet, the pairing of that sauce with the steak is remarkable because just like we talked about before I dug in on it, you want the sauce to be in the background and you want the steak to rule the day. And that steak was cooked to absolute perfection. I'm a rare plus the medium rare guy. So it's very easy to go overboard on that, and that is right in the wheelhouse. So all of the flavor of the steak, all the tenderness of the steak, everything else is still there. You just have this added little, compliment. It's a compliment is what it is. It's awesome. Fantastically done there. The brisket arancini, and you've got the brisket debris po' boy. Between the two, and I'm keeping one eye on the clock to make sure I get all this in. When I bit into the brisket po' boy, when you have a debris po' boy, normally it's a roast, right? Normally we're talking roast beef. With the brisket, the biggest difference here is that smoky flavor. The smoky flavor was so unexpected. I was not ready for that because you've got the gravy that goes along with it. You've got all the normal dressing that goes along with a po' boy. The Leidenheimer bread, blue plate mayonnaise, everything is like rowing in the same direction that you would get from a roast beef po' boy. But then add the tenderness of the brisket and the smokiness that just pops up front. It is unbelievable. Like, I know nobody's thinking, I'm going to go to Rouge and I'm going to pull. Absolutely do it. Absolutely, it is worth the call right there. And then finally with the arancini, I don't know how I can bite into brisket on a po' boy and get one flavor, and then bite into it on the arancini and get a completely different flavor. The smokiness on the arancini kind of hits the backseat to the seasoning that goes into the arancini. There is some pop and some spice to that thing. That thing is alive. It's awesome. I don't know if it's in the sauce or the batter or within the seasoning inside the arancini itself, but whatever it is, it hits you quick.
And I'm telling you, Brian, that chef that we've got over that Rouge is fantastic. I mean, he's just got his arms wrapped around every aspect of everything.
Yeah, all three of these are a home run. All three of these are an absolute home run. You can't go wrong on any front. The arancini, that's on the appetizer menu, right?
It's on appetizer menu. It's on happy hour. You can get it for $10.
Okay. And that's highly, highly, highly recommend on all three. And the way the fried aspect of it pairs with the brisket itself, it's a completely different flavor. The texture is awesome, but it's that spice, that seasoning that pops on the front end. Awesome. We got to get out of here. We got exactly 1 minute to go. In that last minute, let me give it to you. Hand things over. Give me the address one more time where folks can find y'all. Where they call for reservations, the whole works.
7601 Bluebonnet Boulevard, Suite 100, on the outskirts of Perkins Row, right under the Perkins Row smokestack. Call for reservations 614-2400. You also Google a restaurant. You can make a reservation and on our website as well.
This has been Foodie Friday, presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council as part of Mornings with Brian Haldane. Jeff, Stick, thank you all so much, man.
Absolutely. Glad
Can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
On air, we got Moon Griffon coming up next, right after we check in with news. On Facebook Live, we got a bounce as well, but we'll stick around for one more minute. We'll see y'all next week. Have a great weekend. Facebook, we got a bounce. Normally we hang out for a little while on a Friday, but Moon's in studio, so we got to keep it moving. We'll see y'all.